round rather.
Nations aiming to make history at the COSAFA Cup turn up to the Feast Stadium in Bloemfontein as South Africa aim for a sixth COSAFA Cup win overall, facing Comoros, who look to make their first ever final in the 2025 COSAFA Cup semi-final, with defending champions Angola having already booked their place in the final in some style earlier on today. And, well, it comes down to this. These two sides will be battling it out, of course, having gotten through their group stages, well, by the skin of their teeth. I think it's safe to say South Africa in Group A, and, well, it came down to a favor in the end from Zimbabwe for them to get through a group where a good number of teams ended on the same number of points. The head-to-heads were similar. It went down to goal difference in South Africa getting out of their group, while Comoros, well, they got out of a three-team group with a win over Zambia, standing them in good stead to make a place here in the semi-finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Comoros. Republic of South Africa.
Well, there you have it. Lovely atmosphere and proper excitement for South Africa as they look to, well, get into this game here with the likes of Radiobani starting here out in the attack here for Comoros side. Of course, Dlamini has been crucial and impressive in the games that he's been involved in. Watch out as well from Dushabalala in the creative department. Defensively, the pairing of McCarthy and Ocon has stood them in a good stead so far. In fact, defensively, South Africa have been good enough to ensure it's their defense, one could argue, that has booked them a place in the semi-finals ahead of what's been, well, a low-scoring tournament so far for Kulumando's side. Well, Taiwan Nyirenda, the man in charge of this fixture from Zambia, of course. Hilary Hambaba also amongst those that will be out there looking for a good showing. So, having a look at this side from Comoros, it's interesting to note that they haven't made any changes from the side that last turned out here for Jambe Ahamada. We will have Haji amongst those that have worked hard throughout this tournament in securing them a place in the semi-final. Watch out for Yusuf and Afane out in the attack, wearing the numbers 7 and 10. After the hard work of Hassani in the number 80 jersey can't be understated. The combination of Idris Yanis and Naif Dine in defense has well, up to this point, been good enough to see Comoros earn themselves yet another semi-final berth in this tournament. VAR crucial, as always, so far in this tournament. And for Jambe Ahmada, you'll know this is quite a test if he and his side are to, in fact, make the first ever COSAFA Cup final. Got to the semi-finals before, the men from Comoros, the island nation, Vela Kumalo, looking to ensure that South Africa reaches their first final since 2021. They haven't been to a semi-final, keep in mind, since 2021, when South Africa went on to be crowned the COSAFA Cup champions last, well, some 4 years ago now. So, is the men in white that will attack the goal to the left of your picture that will get this game underway. That, of course, being Comoros. Well, so South Africa, in the unmistakable gold and green, will attack the goal to the right of your picture. And what should be an exciting 90 minutes here. First meeting at COSAFA Cup level have met in an AFCON qualifier in the past, where South Africa have on the better of Comoros, never having lost to Comoros in the past here. Comoros looking to make a bit of history in that regard as well. So they look to get onto the front foot. It is with the initial touch, good closing down right from the front lane with Raliopani forcing the error, and South Africa having the throw-in then. So, some support turning out here to the Toyota Free State Stadium. As Tejani looks to get onto the front foot. Shabalala it is to feed him. Tejani is done well to allude to looking for Dlamini. And what started out to look a good attack from a South African point of view comes to an end then in disappointing fashion, but positive enough start here. Enjoyed watching Busodi Tejani operate from that right back position in this tournament. The two men from TS Galaxy, of course, will be operating in the left and right back positions. Tejani on the right with Smerel on the left. Now, South Africa again looking to get in behind that defense, hoping for a decision. Shabalala thought maybe a penalty. Was the contact enough to give the foul? Could have been a free kick on the edge of that box. It would have been a close one in the way of the contact, but in the end, the contact seemed not to be enough to see into Tusi Shabalala being offered the penalty then. Lovely ball here. Good movement, good start from the South Africans. Tejani it is, getting forward. Good ball, men at the top of the box. Shot eventually coming in. Good save from Chandra to deny Moralo. The SuperSport United man had time, had space, could take his time here in measuring the shots on the half volley. Good start from the home side, as one would expect. Quality chance, though. That's the best chance of the game so far. We are just a couple of minutes in, keep in mind. Nice take, nice turn, good movement out in the attack. Needed a better ball, however. Nice to see Tejani amongst those dropping back and watching the movements from the likes of Yusuf, including Mahdi wearing the number 11 jersey here towards the near side, especially with the amount of work Tejani has already put onto the front foot, contributing onto the attack from a South African point of view. Shabalala never featured for the South African senior national team before this year's COSAFA Cup. Shabalala, the victim of the challenge from behind then from Naif Dine. Again, they're looking for Tejani on the up and up here towards the near side, and as much as he will look to put in a proper shift defensively, where he will look to stay responsible in that regard, he still will look to get onto the front foot with Tejani. I don't think he knows any other way to play than to be honest to his attacking instincts. Aidan McCarthy, part of the Chan squad. Of course, there's also put a smile in the faces of South Africans with the qualification for the upcoming Chan tournaments. Ngunyama on the ball now, another that was part of that Chan qualifying squad. Vitaly Swallow on the bench today was a part of that squad as well. Kize looking hard in the middle of the park. In the end, it's Aman Alsani to win it back for Comoros. Well, those that have turned out once again out in the Free State are in good spirits in getting behind Bafana Bafana here. Hassani now for Comoros as they look to open it up. Good ball to this near side, finding Mahdi. Squares up against Tejani. Good movement out wide here. This looking good from Comoros. Ball in. Certainly needed to be defended. Then well defended by McCarthy, it need be said. Here's Yanis. Nice tempo about this game inside the opening 4 or 5 minutes. If you are just joining us, they have both look to get onto the front foot and play some football here. And it looks as though Comoros are certainly here to play. Here they are on the front foot again. Afane looking for the header towards Yusuf, the two danger men to keep an eye on up front from a South African point of view. Tejani running into trouble. Well kept alive then by Afane. Dine's got pace. Too much from Kize. Yusuf on the turn. Madi. Then towards the far side. Yusuf is one of them on the turn. Oh, lovely take initially. I find it. Looking to set it up for the shots. It won't trouble. Badra at the end. Zainuddin, the man with the eventual shot coming in here from the Comoros. Lovely take that was. An important defensive touch by Sibelebele to take it away from Yusuf as he was looking to hit the volley here. That touch there, crucial in possibly denying a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity for the men in white. So, encouraging start here inside the opening 6 minutes that we are in for a good game of football between these two nations. Yusuf strong on the turn against McCarthy. I find it. Madi with the overlapping run uses a decoy. Yes, Yusuf looking for the 1-2 again, superbly read. The Comoros looking menacing as they look to get onto the front foot. Here's Dlamini, yet to really get into the game here inside the early exchanges. His first few touches since this game got underway in the number 11 jersey. Certainly enjoyed watching him play in the first game from the South Africans, where he excited the Orlando Pirates man, one of the better performers on the day. Kamini again, showing some nice touches. Ditejani looked as though he had lost it for a moment. He's recovered the situation here, and an important interception then from Hansani to deny the South Africans what looked the beginnings of a good attack. Madi is certainly up for the battle as he runs through Khabde Moralo here. Well, you can't accuse them of not being up for the battle. Both these sides. How's that for a bit of commitment from Madi? Called for the foul in the end, but certainly Comoros don't look at all phased here. When you consider the way they've started this game against the South Africans, certainly up for it. Movement is good on that far side. The first touch is super. Oh, it's a good chance in the making here. What knows South Africa? That's beautifully done. As Kamogelo Sibelebele shows his pace, composure, and a lovely ball to pick him out, of course, on that far side. Took it beautifully in his stride then as he, well, got the better of the Comoros defense and opened the scoring in some style for South Africa. What a start it is for the South African squad. Oh, what a ball, what a take. Now needs a bit of strength, does so superbly. Maybe a little lucky in seeing the ball come off the defender, then it may very well be an own goal here. But all the credit will go to Sibelebele. Last touch of Hansani. Or is it Idris? And it's a fortunate touch that sees it go over Mshindra. And the first time you see Sibelebele burst forward, it equates in the opening of the scoring from the South Africans. Beautiful football. We've seen the right side alive and kicking from Ditejani. The left comes to life here in, well, adding to the frustration here for Comoros in having to pick out the men in the center of the field. Left and right is very much alive to possibilities. Now, Comoros pushing forward, lovely run, and in the end, the ball across. Maybe had a little room for improvement then, but a lovely play by Haji. And he plays his club football out in Lithuania, and a good start to this game in the way of the entertainment and show. Idris, I do suspect, will be credited with the own goal. There you go. Own goal for the man who plays his club football out in France for FC Roussettes. have enjoyed watching him play, of course, for this Comoros side throughout this tournament. And worth noting, for a lot of the Comoros players, including the coach, over the last few years, we've gotten used to the same faces that have come through to the COSAFA Cup. As we look back at the foul given away here for the challenge, the race foot on Haji by Shabalala. So the likes of Haji, Yusuf, Idris, and Jembe Ahmada, including Afani as well. These are all faces we've gotten used to over the last couple of years or so. Hassani about to take the set piece as well. And they've gotten better and better as the years have went by the Comoros, whereas from the South Africans, there's new faces just about every tournament, every year with the COSAFA Cup. Hassani. Hayes Club football in Côte d'Ivoire as Hassani for Cagnoa. If you are just joining us, it's been a lively opening 12 minutes here. South Africa with some good moments. Comoros look as though they are certainly out here to play. And the goal, I think, a beauty in its creation from Sibelebele, although it was a lost touch that came off a defender. No denying the beauty from a South African point of view. All starting with a ball from this sort of range. That was a beaut in behind the defense towards Sibelebele. Now, good play this. Here's Madi driving forward, and in the end, strong defensive play from Imo Okon. Not the last touch did the SuperSport United defender for the corner. Strong here, needed to be committed is Madi. I've loved his approach to this game and just the commitment he's showing along with his teammates, the men wearing the number 11 Comoros, taking the game to the South Africans, having dropped their heads since going a goal down here early. Well, talk about a nice start to a game here, where sides have certainly gone at each other. Comoros now looking to find that equalizer. Yusuf it will be to keep it alive on the far side, allowing it to go out for the throw-in rather. He plays his club football out in Namibia. Also one over the last couple of years. One has certainly enjoyed watching play. One of the favourites in last year's tournament out in Gqeberha. In the way he went about business throughout the tournament, one of the favourite players throughout the tournament for me in last year's tournament. Now, space on this near side. Murano, oh, lovely ball. So, transfer number 2, Radio Bane. 2-0 South Africa. Explosive counter-attack. No answer from Comoros. South Africa have scored 2, all inside the opening 15 minutes. Oh, goals were an issue in the group stages. That's a thing of the past in just 15 minutes. Lovely ball. Onside. Ah, the stuff counter-attacks are made of. Chindra tried to come out and make himself good and big. To the quality of the pass from Morado meant Radio Badi didn't have to break stride. All he had to do was compose himself then, and using the inside of the post, finds a second for South Africa, and at this point, they're cruising, are the host nation. Now, goal check here from a VAR point of view. Wondering if it's an offside check. It looked onside. They certainly have found the experience well worth the travel and bearing the cold conditions in Bloemfontein to enjoy the football that's been on show here inside the opening 15. beauty of the opening goal means that Comoros must come out and play. And when they do play, things open up, as it was the case here, leading to that second from a South African point of view. So, we wait to see what VAR will contribute in as far as that South African second goal. Well, out in the stairs, they are pretty confident the goal will stand. Continuing in their celebrations, and those celebrations may very well filter onto the field here for the South Africans. Check complete, and yes, it's 2-0. South Africa lead by here over Comoros. Again, the tempo very much lively here. For nations that haven't scored too many goals here, it's a good attacking intent they've both shown here in the early stages of this game. Madi to keep it alive against Tejani. Good ball played into the danger area. Then Afane running out of space in trying to find the movement in and around that box. Keep in mind the defending champions Angola have already booked their place in the final with a convincing 4-1 win earlier on. In the day then, scoring goals once again, the Angolans, as they made quite a statement in booking their place in the finals. Scored plenty of goals in edging out or closing out their group, again scoring many goals in the semi-finals. Already the second semi-final, blessing us with a couple of goals inside the opening 20. It's an exciting end to the knockout stages. Keep in mind Angola at the beating of Madagascar earlier on in the day. Depo, of course, with another 2 goals as the tournament goal scorer. The threats for whichever of these two nations will meet Angola in the final. The all-time leading goal scorer in COSAFA Cup history now. Here's Lamine. Well, one back here by Comoros. And they've got good numbers here. Can they pull one back here? Crucial that they score the next goal in this match if they are to score it. Haji having to settle for a corner. Almadra, another from SuperSport United, that is a contribution from the club to the national team. So Ronaldo turning out for the national team as well in the game where South Africa played against Mozambique under Hugo Bruce. More contributions from SuperSport United from a goalkeeping point of view when you consider where Ronman comes from. Now, ball into the near post, and it's Mgonyama who's first to it. That's him. Yusuf from a long way out. Now, another counter-attack on the offering here. Shabalala. Thought there'd be a throw-in. Zainuddin did well to keep it alive for Comoros out to that far side. Don't hold on for too long yet. Ngoyama. The Amazulu man also had a very good career as Gwana Ngoyama. We've seen him play just about everywhere. Playing in the defensive midfield position now. We've seen him play in the heart of defense and across the back four of his career. Good challenge here. Yanis. He plays his club football for André out in France. In fact, I thought it was a good challenge. In the end, it's called as a foul here. The likes of Nassim now needing to get back And deny South Africa what could be the makings of a third. Scheming. Morano and Dlamini. Movement is good. The idea wasn't bad. The movement in towards the near post, clearly from the training grounds. Then with Shabalala attacking the near post area. Shindra got there first, but Shabalala has strayed into an offside position. So if you're just joining us 20 minutes in, good game of football here. Cold Friday night, spent indoors if it is for you. There's some entertainment coming from Bloemfontein that should keep you nice and warm so far with what we've seen. Yusuf. Nassim. Yanis. Back to Mshindra. So keep in mind, South Africa finished top of Group A. And if you haven't kept up with the drama, South Africa, Zimbabwe and Mozambique all finished on 4 points, with Mauritius finishing on 3. Then it went down to head-to-heads and they cancelled each other out, those top 3. And in the end, goal difference was the difference. Corner. Itejani with that ball, and Ronaldo took it beautifully in stride, took one look and wasted no time in releasing Radiobani. Then it's just a beautiful goal. It's beautifully created. The 3 players involved in Itejani, Morano and Radiobani with slick movements, decisive actions and great decision making, leading to a beautifully crafted and finished second goal here for the South Africans, who've yet to have a corner. All the corners belong to Comoros, which just goes to show their response to going a couple of goals down here. They've tried to get onto the front foot. Credit to them, making a game of it. Good communication between keeper and defender. Ngonyama. And his years of experience now coming to the fore. So for South Africa, the big struggle, when you consider the win against Mozambique, or loss against Mozambique in the opening game, 2-0 win over Zimbabwe, which was the only game they scored in the group stages. Now, Dlamini. Flex seems to have stayed down here. Dlamini all the time in the world, and while he looked to be unselfish, they could still finish it off, but the flag eventually going up, sparing Dlamini's blushes, I do believe. Oh, it would have been a close one. Would have been extremely close. Now, I mean, you have time, you have space, you also had options. And, well, he is a man who loves to create. There's the Pirates midfielder. Now, Afane, keep a long way off his line. Afane it is! Flag has stayed down. Goal kick it is. So, best moment it is for Comoros here. Good movements. Got away from the defense then, and the angle maybe a little testing for him. Majar's a long way off his line then. There's Itejan. Well, they're having a go, both these sides. No point in holding back at this point. Comoros have to come out and play. And South Africa will look to use the 2-goal cushion to the advantage in the way of Comoros needing to play. Means things should open up for the South Africans. Now, Liseyani cutting infield here. For post! Oh, that's a good header clear. Needed to be, there were 2 men coming in on the blind side, then from a South African point of view, needed to be dealt with that ball. They couldn't ignore it, Comoros. If you saw the semi-final earlier on in the day with Angola leading 2-0, one fault for Madagascar. The more they pushed forward, the more it opened up, and the more Angola were able to score a couple more goals. Seems to be the case here. They have to, Comoros, come out and play. And at the same time, be mindful of the defensive side of the game. Yusuf closing down from the front, cutting a bit of a frustrated figure for Comoros. If you are to close down from the front, it of course needs to be a team effort for it to work out to its best. Here's nothing. I'll sign it. That's well read by Sibelewel. Well, there's no mistaking the venue or the area or part, maybe I should say, of South Africa that we are at here for this COSAFA Cup. When you hear the songs that are coming out of the stands here, if you're familiar with the different parts of South Africa and the type of chants and war cries that come out of the different areas, you'll know exactly where you are. Tibalamo, Tibalamo. Block this side, block that side, and well, do away with the enemy, so to speak. And I'm making it sound nice, the last bit of it. Very much a war cry that you hear in the Free State capital of Bloemfontein. Now, Rayobani on the move. Idris keeping an eye on him. Drop of the shoulder, man smokes. Men working hard at keeping it moving. Kiza in there with a touch as well. Frustration. Idris needs to watch himself here. Having words with him. McCarthy thought about getting involved as well. Rayobani was far from happy with the initial contact that started the little exchange between the two sets of players. Ball in. Zejane handled, looking to slow down Comoros here and deny them the chance of taking the early set piece here, which will frustrate a few men in white. And once again, the referee has to get involved. And Idris doing a bit too much. Yellow cards for the man who's also scored an own goal so far in this match. No question that's a yellow card. I mean, that's a handball. You can see what the South Africans are trying to do. What's not necessary is what Idris gets involved. And it does, which is the physical contact, which is a bit aggressive. The push. Whilst it went down to the wire for the South Africans in qualifying for the semi-finals, and mentioned the head-to-head stats to the ball played in here. Could be a chance for Comoros. Yes, they pull one back. So important that the next goal scored in the match be theirs here for them to stay in it. And it's Ibrahim Mahdi, the Istres man out in France, that pulls one back, makes a match of it here. First touch, and once it got through the 2 or 3 in front of Ambajwa, it was always going to be difficult for the keeper, who may have seen it late, and it sneaks under him, I do suspect. Just under. Got a bit of a touch onto it. Not enough to deny Comoros, who've looked good for the goal they've scored in this match, I need to say, here inside the opening 30. They never dropped their heads and they looked aside that was out here to play, and my oh my, are we being served up to an exciting semi-final here. Vitejani. Ocon. Well, we're averaging a goal every 10 minutes so far. Beautiful goals, exciting football, competitive football being played here. Lovely tempo about this game. Also got that edge where they are competitive, but it's at times threatening to boil over just a bit as far as the temperament. It's a lovely game of football to watch if you are just joining us here. And of course, those out in the stands are playing their part in ensuring we enjoy the football here, in just the passion they are putting into their job, the 12 men that is, and it's all turned into a rather enjoyable opening 30 minutes of football here in the second semi-final. Scorer of the second for South Africa in your picture just a moment ago. Widumelo Radio about it. Sibelebele involved in a beautifully created first that ended up in an own goal for Comoros, but beautifully created first. In fact, both goals were just easy on the eye from a South African point of view. Same can be said for Comoros. Here they are with Nassim. They, of course, were in the three-team group. Started off with a win over the Zambians. That pretty much lets us know how serious they were about life. Immediately eliminating Zambia in the process. Drew against Botswana. And then saw Zambia deny Botswana what looked a place in the semi-finals with a late goal to make it 3-3 in the game between Zambia and Botswana, booking Comoros this place in the semi-finals. So both these teams really got to this point by the skin of their teeth. Here's Madi. Hassani. Kamini now. Kize. The Skukune United man. Playing in the deep line midfield position alongside Onyama. Solid challenge from McCarthy. It looks initially. I take that back now. The referee took some time to think about it before giving the set piece the way of Comoros. Kaizer Chiefs defender can't quite leave it, and he's played for South Africa at junior international level as well. Certainly went in hard on Haji. Plenty of the ball. A lot of the man as well, but plenty of the ball and all of the ball. That's his point. Ball first is his point. So, just over 10 minutes until the end of the first half, and Comoros looking to tie matches here at 2-2. Big men push forward, a lot of them as well. Well, they get the initial 2 touches and the third on the far post. After having fallen victim to a ruthless South African counter-attack, they'll be very mindful of sending players forward here with Comoros, but really don't have a choice since they were chasing the scoreline at 2-0 at one point. They have to think about getting onto the front foot. Been chasing since the early stages of this game. Idris, the unfortunate scorer of the first, the only player in a yellow card so far to that field. Also one it's been a joy to watch, operating in the back for Comoros so far in this tournament. He loves to get forward, as is the case, and certainly knows his business once he gets into those attacking areas, and as I say so, the commentator's curse kicks in. Continues to be a tough opening 35 for Idris. 3 players from FC Rousset in the starting 11 for Comoros. He is one of them, is Idris. Well, so many countries from Southern Africa are enjoying the qualifying campaigns, both from an AFCON and a World Cup point of view. As we look back at the supposed foul here, Haji. That's been the enjoyable part of this game. They really have been up for it, Comoros. Even when they went to go down, they didn't drop their heads. They looked to take the game to South Africa. They went 2 down. They still looked to get onto the front foot. Litejani, good movement here from Amorado. Litejani's ball cleared by Yanis. There's Yusuf. Madi. Nazim. For Comoros, of course, no different is the feeling from them in the way of the international showing of late over the years. They've also enjoyed the AFCON qualifiers. They've enjoyed the FIFA qualifiers as well, have Comoros. So many from Southern Africa having qualified for the next Africa Cup of Nations. Comoros, of course, qualified top of Group A with Tunisia, Gambia, and Madagascar. Not having lost a match in the qualifying campaign in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. They won 3, they drew 3, they scored 7, they conceded just 4. Top goal scorers, best defense in a group of Tunisia, Gambia, and Madagascar. And that's how they put their place in the next AFCON. Botswana qualifying second in their group, Group C. Angola first in Group F. You have to watch the Angolans. They certainly, from a Southern African point of view, could be a surprise factor come that Africa Cup of Nations. They are doing so well in the different levels of their football. The Angolans that have made a bit of a statement. Didn't lose in their qualifiers for the AFCON. Again, scoring 7, conceding just 2 in their 6 matches. They conceded only twice. Zambia qualified. Again, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa. Good number from Southern Africa. It is fouled here by Radio Badi. Yusuf really is nice on the ball, is Yusuf. Plays his tough football out in Namibia with African stars. A joy to watch. Amongst the most experienced in this Comoros squad. Here's Zinudine in the middle of the park, looking for the movement out wide here from Nassim. Watched by Ditejani. Did well, Ditejani is slowing them down just a bit for Moralo to pick up the pieces. Shabalala, now Ditejani. Stanwell is shrugging off one defender, Ditejani. Not too much in the way of options. He's done well in finding Radiopani. Came short to make himself an option here. Now he's got options. Dlamini looking to roll the opponent in the end. There's Haji. Kize. Nice touches from Idris. Zinudine. Again, the man of the move on this near side was Madi, but needed a much better ball. Yep. Mandra, the Supersport United man. Also enjoying his first bits, or first taste of international experience at this COSAFA Cup. Moralo, under pressure, had 2 or 3 around him then in the right of Mauritius as they pick up the pieces through Al-Sani here. Nice in the middle of the park, superbly nice as he shakes his man up then, does Zainuddin. Madi, man down. And that was Moralo then. Well, they're struggling and keeping up with Madi. Those two, well, do it all over again. Here's Madi. That's him. Madi with the early ball numbers towards that far post. McCarthy got up well. And the ball, no, it's a chance. It's a good chance for Comoros. Amongst the tallest attackers, who gets onto it in Afane, and the man who plays his left football out in the DR Congo should be putting this on target at the very least, yeah. They'll feel it could very well have been 2-2. Such was the quality of the chance for Comoros. Movement good on that far side. The ball is equally as good. Sibelebele had options. Zariobane. Oh, it's come off the woodwork. And in the end, Jindra will smother that. Looking for the brace. Sibelebele. Carbon copy almost of the opening goal here. With the quality of the ball and the pace of the Galaxy man. Zariobane then picking up the pieces, with Idris again having another none too convincing moment in defense, then in trying to get it clear, playing it into trouble very nearly, re-establishing the 2-goal cushion. Then Sibelebele, that's beautifully done in defense by Okon, winning it back then of Yusuf McCarthy. Well, a first 45 that's absolutely flown by here. It's been enjoyable. That's him. No, they have reached crazy heights in recent times. Comoros mentioned that they've now twice qualified for the AFCON. They've got some trouble defensively here. Zamene! Oh, it's come off the woodwork again! Well, once it fell out to the left foot. And feared for Comoros that it may very well be 2-goal cushion before the half-time break for South Africa. Man who enjoys his football in Bloemfontein during his time out at Celtic. Steadies this. Educated left foot, looking to curl it around Mshindra. Does so beautifully. And just can't find the inside of the post. One could argue that left foot took some time and had some education out at the University of the Free State, not too far away from this venue, just around the way. In his time with Steve Rampela at Bloemfontein Celtic. Remember Steve Rampela back then speaking very highly of Dlamini as one of those players that gives you that feeling that you had from some of the old school players from a South African point of view. Frustration here. Haji and company have been up for the fight. He's saying shoulder to shoulder if the pace of Sibelebele Has been a problem on that far side. Haji's got a fair bit of pace of his own for an attack-minded player. He's dropped back here to assist in that right back position with that overlapping movement from Sibelebele. So, mashing in for pace. Thought, okay, let's see what you got where power is concerned. Fortunately, Haji doesn't know his own strength. Now, ball in. Nervousness. As Giannis clears at the expense of a corner with 2 minutes added on. Nervousness. Yeah. Lovely ball in there. Painful to defend on the near post, and two defenders going for the same ball. Didn't quite work out, and it was so crucial that Giannis got it right in clearing the lines. Only the first corner of the evening for the South Africans. McCarthy is not to be pushed around here. He doesn't take lightly to anyone getting physical with him or his teammates. Again, spotting something he doesn't like. We saw him trying to deal with Idris earlier. He's dealt with yet another. This time it's Giannis. It's back down by McCarthy. Not on his watch. Now, near post. Yunus with the last touch. Another corner it will be. He's already got one assist in this match. Moralo. Deeper this time, and no one really out in that far post. In fact, it was overcooked. May very well be the last attacking move of what's been a thoroughly enjoyable first 45 minutes out in Bloemfontein at the Free State Stadium. South Africa, they'll take the lead into the break here, but enjoyable football. Two sides going toe-to-toe, blow for blow. As Sibelebele involved in the creation of the first, then with some lovely movement, a lovely ball to find him, and the last touch coming off Idris for the own goal. On the counter-attack, South Africa unforgiving, as Bani scored a beautifully crafted second, but Comoros always looked thereabouts. They always looked up for the fight, and did find one back through Mahdi in a well-taken goal. And I tell you what, when you consider the chance that fell for Fani over the header, they could very well have made it 2-2 at the end of an exciting first 45 minutes in the second semi-final of the COSAFA Cup of 2025 here. It's South Africa looking to get back to another final as they look to be the side to face Angola in the final, with Comoros standing in their way here. Half-time score, South Africa 2, Comoros 1. Well, not too much separating these two sides. Comoros was just the one shot on target that, saw them pull one back here. Not much separating them in ball possession stats. It's a good game of football. This both giving as good as they're getting. Just the one yellow card as we look forward to the second half.
Latuma! Take your best shot with HollywoodBets in our universe of spectacular soccer action. Multiple opportunities to score are yours for the taking. With our max payout of 30 million rand, easy cash out options, in-play betting, and data-free site. Share your tips and selections with family and friends using our Share a Bet feature. Your betting adventure starts here. HollywoodBets, be in the game.
VAR crucial, as always, so far in this tournament. And for Jambe Ahmada, you'll know this is quite a test if he and his side are to in fact make the first ever COSAFA Cup final. Ditejani on the right with Sibelele on the left. Now, South Africa again looking to get in behind that defense, hoping for a decision. Dile's got pace. Too much from Kiza. Yusuf on the turn. Madi. Then towards the far side. Yusuf is one of them on the turn. Oh, lovely take initially. I find it. Looking to set it up for the shots. It won't trouble. Badra at the end. Zainuddin, the man with the eventual shot coming in here from the Comoros. Lovely take that was. An important defensive touch by Sibelele to take it away from Yusuf as he was looking to hit the volley here. That touch there, crucial in possibly denying a clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity for the men in white. So, encouraging start here inside the opening 6 minutes that we are in for a good game of football between these two nations. Movement is good on that far side. The first touch is super. Oh, it's a good chance in the making here. What knows South Africa? That's beautifully done. Shows his pace, composure, and a lovely ball to pick him out, of course, on that far side. Took it beautifully in his stride then as he, well, got the better of the Comoros defense and opened the scoring. It's thumbs down for South Africa. What a start it is for the South African squad. Oh, what a ball. What a take. Now, needs a bit of strength, does so superbly. Maybe a little lucky in seeing the ball come off the defender, then it may very well be an own goal here. But all the credit will go to Sibelele. Last touch for Hassani. Or is it Idris? And it's a fortunate touch that sees it go over Mshindra. And the first time you see Sibelele burst forward. Now, space on this near side. Morano, oh, lovely ball. So, transfer number 2, Radio Bane. 2-0 South Africa. Explosive counter-attack. No answer from Comoros. South Africa have scored 2, all inside the opening 15 minutes. Oh, goals were an issue in the group stages. That's a thing of the past in just 15 minutes. Lovely ball, onside. The stuff counter-attacks are made of. Chindra tried to come out and make himself good and big. To the quality of the pass from Morano meant that your body didn't have to break strides. All he had to do was compose himself then, and using the inside of the post, finds a second for South Africa, and at this point, they're cruising, the host nation. So for South Africa, the big struggle, when you consider the win against Mozambique, or loss against Mozambique in the opening game, 2-0 win over Zimbabwe, which was the only game they scored in the group stages. Now, Dlamini. Flex seems to have stayed down here. Dlamini all the time in the world, and while he looked to be unselfish, they could still finish it off, but the flag eventually going up, sparing Dlamini's blushes, I do believe. Oh, it would have been a close one. Would have been extremely close. Now, I mean, you have time, you have space, the old side options. And, well, he is a man who loves to create. There's the Pirates midfielder. Now, Afane, keep a long way off his line. Afane it is! Flag has stayed down. Goal kick it is. So, best moment it is for Comoros here. Good movements. Got away from the defense then, and the angle maybe a little testing for him. Manjar's a long way off his line then. Whilst it went down to the wire for the South Africans in qualifying for the semi-finals, and mentioned the head-to-head stats to the ball play then. There could be a chance for Comoros. Yes, they pull one back. So important that the next goal scored in the match be there's here for them to stay in it, and it's Ibrahim Mahdi, the Istrias man out in France, that pulls one back, makes a match of it. Yeah, first touch, and once it got through the 2 or 3 in front of Ambajwa, it was always going to be difficult for the keeper, who may have seen it late, and it sneaks under him, I do suspect. Just under. Got a bit of a touch onto it. Not enough. That's him. Mari with the early ball numbers towards that far post. McCarthy got up well. And the ball, no, it's a chance. It's a good chance for Comoros. Amongst the tallest attackers, who gets onto it in Afane, and the man who plays his left football out in the DR Congo should be putting this on target at the very least, yeah. Movement, good on that far side. The ball is equally as good. Sibelebele had options. Sadio Bane. Oh, it's come off the woodwork. And in the end, Shindra will smother that. Looking for the brace. Sibelebele. Carbon copy almost of the opening goal here. With the quality of the ball and the pace of the Galaxy man. Sadio Bane then picking up the pieces. With Idris again having another none too convincing moment in defense, then in trying to get it clear, playing it into trouble. Oh, they have reached crazy heights in recent times. Comoros mentioned that they've now twice qualified for the AFCON. They've got some trouble defensively here. Zamene! Oh, it's come off the woodwork again! Well, once it fell out to the left foot. And feared for Comoros that it may very well be 2-goal cushion before the half-time break for South Africa. Man who enjoyed his football in Bloemfontein during his time out at Celtic, steadies this, educated left foot, looking to curl it around Shindra. That's so beautifully, and just can't find the inside of the post. Fortunately, Haji doesn't know his own strength. Now, ball in. Nervousness. As Giannis clears at the expense of a corner with 2 minutes added on. Nervousness. Yeah. Lovely ball in there. Painful to defend on the near post. And
Laduma! Take your best shot with HollywoodBets in our universe of spectacular soccer action. Multiple opportunities to score are yours for the taking. With our max payout of 30 million rand, easy cash out options, in-play betting, and data-free site. Share your tips and selections with family and friends using our Share a Bet feature. Your betting adventure starts here. HollywoodBets, be in the game.
Welcome back to the Free State Stadium as we look to conclude the issue of the semi-finals and who will in fact face Angola in the final in what has been a thoroughly entertaining day of football, full of goals, full of entertainment, full of sides that really are showing intent in their attempts to, of course, grace us in the final come Sunday. Keep in mind there will be a third and fourth playoff on the day as well. So far, the first side of out of the change room are the South Africans, who do lead with a 2-1 scoreline over Comoros here. It's the second match where they have been able to find the back of the net, scored twice already in the 45. With the way this game has flowed, or ebbed and flowed, maybe I should say, may very well need another one or two here to see off the challenge from Comoros, who have also come out to play, taking the game to the South Africans, and at one point leading with a 2-0 scoreline. So Comoros pull one back and come close to finding an equalizer. Ngonyama, of course, wearing the captain's armband, having quite a game in the heart of midfield. Those out in the stands are having quite an evening in the way of the atmosphere they've provided here in a stadium that's nowhere near half full, but still the atmosphere good enough to remind us that we are in the Free State. To those that have come out are the football-loving people of the Free States, and they always make their presence felt, of course, making for a lovely evening of football when you mix it all together in what we've enjoyed so far in the first 45. Well, changes will be made here, and it's Comoros that will make a couple of them. Idris, keep in mind, on a yellow card, didn't have the best of halves. Wondering if he will be the man substituted here so far. It looks as though Hansane, wearing the number 18, will make way. And Haji will make way as well. Which may come as a bit of a surprise. Medard coming on in his place. Well, changes to be made for South Africa as well here. Dlamini makes way, and Mzadi is going to come on in his place. And I do believe that Duduzi Shabalala, maybe the other player that is making way here. Yep, it is Duduzi Shabalala that'll make way for Nimtajela. So, Dlamini, who came close to scoring himself, will not come up with the second 45 here. Nimtajela, the man preferred in his place, the Marumo Gallants man. Already, as the second half gets underway, you can feel the atmosphere from out in the stands then. Now, Comoros, Idris, turns as far as Bertards, the new man on the field here is Nassim. Will be interesting in seeing how things unfold here with the changes that have been made both ways. To believe that there is another change. We haven't mentioned it yet from a South African point of view. Vuyo Letapa is another player that's come on here in the three changes made. Nice footwork. South Africa drive forward here. Radio Barney. Here's the tapper. McCarthy. Good movement to that far side by Ditijani, but it's Shindra that left the danger early. Ditijani expecting him to hold on, then wasn't wise to the mistake made. Then Shindra, as far as his handling, and he survived at the moment to the Toulouse player. The goalkeeper who plays his club football out in France has too many over the play out to the field here for this Comoros side. McCarthy with that well now. Radio Barney. Flag stays down here. McCarthy stays in his forward movement, attacking the near post. Radio Barney in the end done a bit too much. Flag eventually did go up, however. Well, for Comoros, they want the next goal scored in the smash to be theirs here, and trying to tie the scoreline for the first time in the evening. Here they are moving forward up to that left side. Heavy touch. Presents a bit too much. Tumsani. Thought he was on his way then. Mahdi, he's had a very good game wearing the number 11 jersey. Never mind the goal he scored, just his all-round commitment to the cause here in helping Comoros try and fight back has been impressive. Ditejan. Nemtajela. Was there a couple now from Skukuni that are to that field. Keeping in mind that he did start the game. Still out there wearing the number 19 on his back is the deep lying midfielder. Manyama taking no chances. Run from deep here. No. Is a man with his movement of the ball that's caused problems for the likes of Idris defensively to try and keep in check. Amongst the players out at Galaxy that have grown over the last couple of seasons. Already as early as 2 seasons ago, people were talking about him, and the fraternity had taken note of the talented wing back at the time that can also play as a winger. And well, at the later stage of that season, a couple of seasons ago, Ditejani also arrived from Kaizer Chiefs, and they for 2 exciting players that were quite young and breaking into the top flight of South African football. And here they are now, beginning to knock on the door and crack into the international stage. And it won't come as a surprise to many that follow the beautifully South African game. Radio Badi with the pressure out in the attack. The play against the Comoros did Radio Badi in the 10 back in 2022. Here's the tapper. In the movement from Ditejani. Looking to cause problems out on that far side, closely watched by Nassim. There's the time around. Here's Ditejani, drops the shoulder, loses a couple of men. Now, ball in here. Clearance good enough to see off the South Africans. For the timing, that is. Zinudine didn't hold on for too long in the middle of the park before the South Africans won it back. Here's McCarthy. Well, there have been a few McCarthys that have contributed to South African football, both at club level and on the international stage, at junior international stage, from a attacking and defensive point of view. The two from an attacking point of view were the two McCarthy brothers, Benny and his brother, who also played in the top right of South African football. Many of you will remember, as the yellow card is shown here to Asane. Yeah, Studs leading with the Studs. Everybody is the victim here. Asane, one of those that has been part of this Comoros set up over the last couple of editions of the COSAFA Cup, coming in off the bench here this evening. Well, once the players have given it their all, we can safely say, as have they. Some enjoying their 5 seconds of fame. As I say, out in the Free State, really having a nice time out in the stands then. Even those that are a little bit more relaxed and out to enjoy the football. Can't mistake Mark Fish in the middle of your picture with the grey hair. Oh, man. Yeah. Show out. They say show out. Let them see you. The friends of yours that are watching on TV. And this is looking a bit more serious than we thought for Radio Bunny. It has taken a while now since he's gone down. 10 minutes into the second half, and they may have to consider yet another change. The South Africans, and well, it'll be an unfortunate ending to a game where Radio Bunny has scored earlier on. Keep in mind, came close to getting the brace, having found the frame of the goal. There's a good sign. Surely he'll want to continue here if he can. It is that cold in the Free State, mind you, and throughout the country. So we appreciate their presence. We appreciate their commitment out in the stands. They really have been outstanding. Have been as good as the football has been here this evening so far. There's McCarthy. Battling hard out on that far post, or on that far side, I beg your pardon. And, well, was making the point a little bit earlier. We've had McCarthys that have contributed from a defensive point of view and an attacking point of view. The McCarthys from out in the Cape, Benny McCarthy and his brother, well, offensively they've contributed. Then the McCarthys that have both played for Kaizer Chiefs, both also come through the ranks on the international stage, that have contributed defensively. Fabian McCarthy and of course Aiden McCarthy, father and son. So any McCarthys that would like to join in and contribute from a midfield point of view, or goalkeepers in the years to come, yeah, you're welcome. Good goalkeeping this from Banjwa. Of course, Benny McCarthy is taking it a step further now, as he's also coached Amazulu, coached them onto CAF competitions. He's now the national team coach of the Kenyans. Tough day to the office for Idris Mohammed. What we miss about football in the Free State, what we have missed over the years, that as much as the football itself has been a contributing factor, is the culture out in the Free State where, when they support, you really feel it. Back in the 80s, there'd be the song Punya Sele Sele, Banabao Shebile, Tibaramo, and so on. And of course, Bloemfontein Celtic flying the flag high. So we've missed a lot of that when it comes to support from Bloemfontein, the Free State capital. The passion you're getting from out in the stands is something else here. Giannis under pressure. Making life difficult for the defenders now to try and play out from the back. At times it has gotten physical between these two sides, and the officials have needed to step in, especially in the first half. There's Asani. Rayupani again, closing down right from the front, spinning the ball back here for the South Africans. Moralo had to twist and turn to buy himself a little bit of time and space. Diteshani with lovely footwork under pressure. 3 on him, no problem. McCarthy. Again, lovely tempo to this game, with Comoros looking to make life difficult for the South Africans. Ntajela. Letlapa. Too close. Ashindra. Well, football has just about come and gone. And, well, no goal scored as yet in the second half. That could be a thing of the pass, and South Africa scores a third beautifully. Composure after a defensive mistake, and the 2-goal cushion is restored by Simone. Well, spoke about the closing down right from the front. They forced the error. Oh, finished this with some aplomb. Morano involved again in yet another goal. Simelabale as well. Oh, great work by the midfielder. Great composure by Simelabale. It's 3 for South Africa. And the 2-goal cushion back up and running. The party will now continue out in the stands. Right on the hour mark. Now for Comoros, they've got it all to do again. Well, we've been treated to goals in the semi-finals, 4-1 earlier in the day. Even the one consolation goal was a very well-taken goal earlier on in the day, as Angola marched into yet another final. Well, this game promises more in the way of goals. Can they match the efforts of the earlier semi-finals here? Comoros, well, they Still have a lot to fight for here. Time to try and turn things around, quite importantly. Kize will go into the referee's book for that challenge, the first from South Africa to pick up a yellow card. He claims he's got the ball. And once those stats are exposed, well, it matters not, some will argue. Dangerous play is dangerous play. So, Comoros need to pull one back here, make a game of it in their efforts to stand before Angola come the final on Sunday. From the training grounds, Belebele is quick, he's strong, and he's a man high on confidence. His teammates came out to show love here in the way he defended this set piece and celebrated as though he scored yet another goal. Great team spirit, by the way, for Vela Khumalo's side. Under pressure, no problem. Well, could be problems actually if the men from Comoros have their way. Well, the defensive touch from Kize could have wrong-footed Mandra, but didn't. Zinodine. And that was with the ball forward. On another day, that could very well have come close to being an own goal. For Comoros, amongst the nations on one occasion just last year to have gotten as far as a semi-final. In the end, they finished fourth last year. And if gotten to another semi-final, we'll hope to take it up a notch by making the final. Got some work to do here in 25 or so minutes that remains in this match. Zambia, many people's favourites coming into any tournament in the COSAFA regions when there is the men's or females part of the game, have struggled to get out of the group stages over the last two editions, this edition and the last. Still with the 7 goals. South Africa now with, I think, more than a foot in the final, and will have a chance to match Zimbabwe on 6 gold medals in the COSAFA Cup against a tough Angolan side. Should they see through this result and earn their place, it will be quite a final on Sunday against Angola. One not to miss. Two very different playing styles. The Angolans, well, over the last couple of years, have just raised their football up a couple of notches, and they look a different type of opponent for any side that faces them, really. Powerful, lethal, and deadly. So it'll make for contrasting styles with some nice football come Sunday. Big question is, can Comoros turn things around here and earn themselves a place in the final? It is now pushing forward. Nothing wrong with that challenge or the bit of a sandwich on the edge of the box. Then the referee had a good view on that, as did the near side, or the official here on this near side. Here's Idris. He'll get desperate and he'll like to push out to the front foot when things get tough for Comoros. The big defender, in doing so, could, maybe should, be careful of yet another counter, and the fourth for the South Africans. So Diteja will be making way here. Volozi will be coming on in at his place. Now they look back to COSAFA Cups in the past. Cupido is an example of a man that's, well, started to knock on the door of the international stage through the COSAFA Cup last year, and who scored for Hugo Broos's side, keep in mind, against Mozambique. The Tejano will be hoping this will be the start of many occasions to represent South Africa from an international stage. So, time now will begin to add to the pressure from Comoros to try and make things happen in forcing the issue and getting onto the front foot and trying to test the South African defence. Both these sides still stay committed to the cause and the way they're going in for the challenges and battling for the 50-50s, as is the case now. Bodies flying about. Everybody committed. Couple of players down on the floor, one from either side of the field. Eventually, the referee having to slow it all down here, and let's catch a breather. As Sibelebele is one of those down and in need of some attention. Here's another where one could feel the sky is the limit for him in how far he can take it in the way of his development. Sibelebele. Yusuf won't need a stretcher. There's a red card check by VAR, by the way. Not too sure which way. Oh, they may have a case. I mentioned that once stars are showing, you have a problem, and that was against Mkhize a little bit earlier on. He's already on a yellow from that challenge earlier on, so he goes forward with yet another challenge where he's leading with the stars, has the contact on Yusuf. He says, look, I won't make heavy of the situation by milking it, but in the end, I do believe Mkhize is a lucky man. Idris, he will push forward when he can now. Problem is, when he does, he needs to connect with those passes, since he does stray out of position. Twice now he doesn't connect. McCarthy looking to show him how it's done and connecting with those passes when the central defender pushes forward. In South Africa, pushing forward here through Sibelebele to profit off of McCarthy. Back to McCarthy! Very nearly finished it off. Now that's how it's done. Just take notes. McCarthy back to put it back and getting back into position. Came from an offside position, this Sibelebele then. Now, they will have Radiobandy make way. And, well, here's a man that will, on his day, work at defense ragged. That's why will replace Radiobandy, who, of course, is amongst the goal scorers in this match. He'll work hard. That's why he will keep them busy in that defense. And or should Idris look to take any forward strides with the ball, including Yanis now doing it on that far side, they need to be careful. In fact, it is the Swallow that fouls Yanis this time, as you'd expect. Afane. Asane. Back to Afane. Now Idris. His passing hasn't been at his very best. In fact, today, his game hasn't been at his very best. done well to stay out of trouble since picking up the yellow card in the first half, it is, but it all started off on the wrong note with that own goal earlier on in the day. And, well, Zino Dine makes way. Desperate now are the Comoros with under 20 minutes remaining to affect the scoreline. Ashrafi is the man on in his place. Swallow. Good work by Asane. He's also the yellow card since coming in off the bench, so he needs to watch himself. The man wearing the number 22. Idris. Yanis. Achirafi, the man who's just coming off the bench, getting his first touch since coming on. Idris. Naif Dine. No, for Jambe. Amado. He's roll the dice here and making the changes. Would love for his side to pull at least one back here to make life interesting. Going into the last 15, creating clear chances is proving quite an ask for he and his side for the time being. Naif Dine, one of three from FC Rousset in France. Letapa. No. Nice footwork from Mshindra. Thought that little bounce as the ball was going through to him would make life extremely difficult. It did, but he improvised well, showing good footwork and skill. Look up. This one. Had a very good game. Cabe Moralo here this evening. There he is again. Moralo. Nice on the ball. There's his follows as well, involved in it, just keeping it moving. Well, again, they are appreciating the disky on display. Are those out in the stands here? Just the ability to move the ball, use the width of the field, keep it moving at a nice tempo whilst you are keeping your opponents chasing, especially when they are chasing. With the determination of this Comoros side, your ability to keep the ball is something South African fans will always appreciate. McCarthy. Now, Idris. One in the good area, lovely play by Idris as he smokes the man. Took a nice little toke of his opponent then did Idris. Have mentioned on a few occasions he is nice when he pushes forward. No dilly-dallying at the back, boys. I think that's the message. There will be a yellow card here. And it's to Jambe Ahmad. Not too sure why, maybe having too much to say to the fourth official. Sibelebele under pressure from Idris. See, he's thrown caution to the wind now. As the man wearing the number 90 jersey, as one expected he would, with things getting tough here inside the last 20. He will push forward, he will try and make things happen. And is allowed to do so, mind you. His pace has been a constant thorn on the side of this Comoros team. Gabriel Sibelebele. Morano. Pace from Sibelebele. Gets beyond one, shrugs off a second, goes to grounds. Just outside of the box with the challenge from behind then. Starts showing challenge and, well, problems. Serious problems here. Second yellow cards and marching orders for Asane. Had coming off a bench to pick up a yellow card here in the second half. And left the referee little to no option but to show a second yellow. Sibelebele as a hurts Comoros here today. Serious contender for man of the match. His pace has just been too much to deal with. Yeah. To his credit, Sibelebele tries to stay on his feet. That was earlier on, and again it was Sibelebele. He's hurt them. They knew he was in trouble. And I find it picked up a yellow of his own, protesting the second yellow for his teammates. I find it picking up a yellow. Asane eventually sent off. And the noise levels out in the Free State go up an extra notch as the party continues now. Some will make a proper Friday night of it out in Bloemfontein and go long into the night. From a supporting point of view, that is. The players have work to do in thinking about Sunday, but the party in the stands may very well go into the night for some. Bloom the place to be tonight. Tell you what, the noise levels will go up even more if Cabe Moralo will add a goal to his assist. Takes a deflection. Fine play, this. There's so many of them, of course. Adding to Hugo Bruce's long list of players he now needs to keep up with. That's fine play, this fine display in the middle of the park today. Find it with the header clear for the 10 men of Comoros. Litwal. I find it. Space on this near side for Ashirafi. Not too much in the way of options, however. Now for Idris, he won't be venturing forward all that often. With just 10 men on the fields. Maddie kept quiet in the second half wearing the number 11 jersey. He was problematic in the first. Well, baby steps may very well be the way forward here for Comoros, having finished 4th last year. May battle to earn themselves a 3rd spot. Finish in the hope of course, getting better and better as the years do move forward, rather than just gigantic leaps. Well, they may very well have to settle for baby steps here as things stand. Idris with a lovely ball. Oh, what a chance. Oh, Idris, killer ball. He really is a funny footballer, is Idris. Hard to forget. Once you watch him a couple of times, nice with the ball, ever so calm, comfortable on it as well. Can defend, can attack, has the eye for the pass, nice to get forward when things are tough. And found the right man in Yusuf, who just didn't have the great touch then. Usually Yusuf has the killer touch. Papa Morano, well, he has done himself proud, I think, with the performance he's put forward here today. Contributed to 2 goals. Fine showing. And Barnes will be coming on. Mohammed also coming on here. Son of the Barnes. Over the last 2 years, his growth has also been immense. With what he was able to achieve 2 seasons ago with helping Richards Bay survive the chop. Then in the last season, his growth, seeing him go into the CAF competitions under the Barnes. Yep. The next step in his growth is the obvious one. Just under 6 minutes remaining now. Angola pretty much have a good idea who they'll be facing in the final as things stand. Unless there are some heroics, some serious heroics to come out of Comoros. It's the host nation. So we'll be up against the Angolans. 2 footballing nations that are very much on the up and up in the way of the current generation, current crop of footballers. They have harvested the quality of football from the juniors right through to the seniors, is making a serious impact in shaking things up. Angola will be looking to win the final and match South Africa on 5 COSAFA Cup goals. Well, South Africa will be looking to not only win here today in the time that remains, but beat Angola in the final on Sunday and pull away from Angola and match Zimbabwe on 6. Notching up 1 behind Zambia. That's if things go the South African way in the 5 that remains here, including in the final. Let's one. Puff and give on the far side. Time They need to get it forward here. Finally on the move, and mindful not to stray outside of the perimeter of the box. Well, in as far as semi-finals and the teams that are looking to encourage one to look forward to a final, I think both matches have seen 4 teams that really did entertain here today. Well, again, one needs to take our hats off to the groundsman at the Free State Stadium and at the 2 venues, it needs to be said, that have been used so far. They really have had to deal with a lot of football here, and the conditions being what they are in the middle of winter. Smack in the middle of the South African winter, the groundsmen have been hard at work to make sure the surfaces are playable. Now, Idris looking for the 1-2. He'll look to venture forward once again in helping Comoros create. Head up, looking for movement. Well, Comoros may still have a say in the way things turn out here. Inside the last couple of minutes, nice strong challenge from McCarthy. Well, Kumalo said time and time again after matches, the big issue was converting the chances created. Today, that hasn't been the big issue. They've converted their chances, they've scored 3. Conceding just their 2nd goal of the tournament. The South Africans, that defense really has stood firm here and will be tested against the goal of that, you can be sure. Yeah, little shy of ideas going forward now. Oh, Comoros, no one really pushing into the box here. They're all lurking on the edge of the final third, so it's comfortable. It's right in front of the South African defense for now. 3 in the box now. That'll encourage the early ball from Idris. There you go, towards that far post. Not a bad ball, and it's Madi who keeps it alive on the far side. Madi again now. Could be a chance here for Comoros. Bunyama actually could be hurt here on the follow through from Asirafi's attempted shot. He then leaned with the stuff showing on Bunyama's calf, and a bit more weight on that, and there could have been problems then for Bunyama. 5-minute run to a game where we've been treated to 4 goals. 1 red card, following 2 yellows to Asani, who's come on in the second half, picking both yellow cards up for challenges on Sibelebele. His pace has just been way too much. He scored, he's also come so close to scoring a brace here. His movement and ability and athleticism leading to the first, which led to the own goal from Idris. There he is now, Sibelebele giving a yellow card. It is. Well, they'll still be looking forward to the World Cup qualifiers. Well, Comoros keeping in mind that they are also having a decent World Cup qualifying campaign. Keep in mind, mentioned how well they've done in the AFCON in qualifying for their second. Well, the good times don't just end there from a Comoros point of view. In the World Cup qualifiers, they are in contention as things stand for a place in the World Cup, and what strides they've made over the years in the way of the international stage. Second behind Ghana in Group I. So Comoros in a group with Madagascar, Mali, Central African Republic and Chad are second behind Ghana. Big surprise that they have had the better showing than Mali, whom a lot would have been expected of in that group. Madagascar, they're thereabouts as well. They're third in the group of Madagascar. Ghana on 15 points, Comoros on 12, Madagascar on 10 points. Mali not out of it yet on 9 points. Central African Republic and Chad rounding up the group. Again. Early ball forward and Letwalo, as you'd expect. Keeping them honest there at the back. Mozambique in the running in their group with Botswana also close by, chasing behind Algeria in Group G. Just showing how Southern Africa is really trying to shake things up. Zambia behind Tanzania and Morocco in their group. Angola some way off Libya, Cameroon and Cape Verde. Comfortable pickup here for Madra. South Africa, of course, topping a group with Lesotho and Zimbabwe down at the bottom. Nigeria in the bottom half. The whole point of the COSAFA Cup yearly is to see nations in the COSAFA region up their game and compete with the West and the North. We do believe things are moving in the right direction, which means coming together every year in the fashion that we do for the likes of Comoros, South Africa and the rest, Zambia, Botswana, Lesotho. Seeing football in this region move in the right direction. Which is the name of the game, of course. Last 30 seconds for Comoros, yeah. 10 men of Comoros, keep in mind. Well, they've played their hearts out. We'll take our hats off to them. Glance at the watch from the match referee. There you have it. South Africa will look to win the COSAFA Cup for the 6th time. Whilst Angola look to win it for the 5th time come Sunday. But whilst South Africa doing it in some style here, Sibelebele outstanding in creating the first, scoring the third, whilst Ranyubani was in amongst the goals. It beautifully created and scored goals by the South Africans. Comoros came out to fight and play. Man almighty, they did not make a game of it. Pulling one back then through Madi in the first half, but there's Belebele and his sterling contribution here. That's the third, the killer blow, the final nail in the coffin then, as South Africa put their place in yet the final. Yet another final, I should say. This time against the Angolans. Bloemfontein the place to be. Over the next couple of days, the party for those in the stands will go through the night for the players. Won't exist as yet until the job is done on Sunday. Who will be left smiling at the end of it all is the big question. Will it be the football mad fans of the Free State capital and South Africa, of course, or will it be Angola in what should be a thrilling final? Comoros, well, they've reached yet another semi-final. They'll be in yet another third and fourth playoff. They finished fourth last time around. Can they take it up a notch and finish third? Giving us some good memories this time around. Comoros again at the beating of Zambia for 2 years in a row. That'll be the big story for them. They keep making all the right improvements to this nation. But at the end of it all, it's South Africa 3, Comoros 1, with the numbers very much in South Africa's favor here. It was their game to lose once they did establish the 2-goal cushion, and they kept creating. And the good news here for Vela Khumalo, of the 4 attempts on target, 3 from the back of the net.
Coach, the coach of South Africa, Coach Vela Khumalo. Coach, a very tough day at the office today, but you prevailed in the end. Your thoughts on the match?
Look, I think the lessons that one is learning out of this is that we don't have any small countries. I think we can, from the game we played, one can learn that all the countries are best and they have good players. And I think they made us run for our money. And I should say congratulations to our boys. They did well. We wanted it most. And we showed aggression when we started. That's exactly what we wanted. During the halftime, we said, let's go in and score 1 goal and destabilize everything, which we did exactly that, set up traps, and then we had to win from the pressing moments that we set out for ourselves. But I think it's getting tougher and tougher. We're going to play a better team, Angola. So when the game is going on, one on top of his head is thinking, Angola, how do we go about Angola? But well, I think congratulations goes to our boys. We did so very well, and I'm happy more than anything because we converted chances. At least we scored 3 goals.
Speaking of scoring goals, you said you want to score goals for you to win, and that's exactly what happened in this match.
Look, I think it has been something. We have been playing good football, but we were not scoring goals. And we said, let's try to be clinical this time around, and which we did that very well. I think there were moments where I thought we still needed to score another goal, but it is work in progress. My next worry is Angola now.
Back in the final since 2021 when South Africa won it, how excited are you?
Look, deja vu. It's like I've been here before. It's like I've seen this before. I remember we won it on 2021, and now the moment is prevailing itself, but it's a tougher encounter this time around. So we need to go back and plan thoroughly for Angola.
Thank you, Coach, and all the best.
Thank you very much.